Good morning. Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Thursday, June the 13th, and we are here to look at the new releases that are being set into the wild this week. And being Thursday, we are going to look at the fantasy and science fiction books that are being set into the wild this week. Every day we do a different genre. On Mondays, we look at cozy mysteries. On Tuesdays, we look at mysteries and thrillers. On Wednesdays, we look at romance. Thursdays, fantasy and science fiction. Friday is Freeform Friday, and usually we look at other books that aren't necessarily covered under those categories or just ones that we hadn't gotten to yet. But tomorrow we'll be looking at historical mysteries because I'm hosting the Midsummer Histmist Readathon, and we will look at some ideas for anybody who would like to participate in that tomorrow. Quick announcements. I do have sprints tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. That is self-care time for you. It is time carved out for you to do whatever it is that makes your day end on a good note, whether that's reading, working on a project or something creative, or just closing your eyes. We just listen to nice ambiance music and do a check-in at every hour. I do that every Tuesday and Thursday evening and Saturday afternoons. But today we are looking at fantasy and science fiction new releases. Let's jump in. This first one, I really do kind of love the cover. It's a throwback to the classic sci-fi books. This is called Moonbound by Robin Sloan. It is 11,000 years from now. A lot has happened, and yet a lot is still very familiar. Ariel is a boy in a small town under a wizard's rule. Like many adventures before him, Ariel is called to explore a world full of unimaginable glories and challenges, unknown enemies, a mission to save the world, a girl. Here, as they say, be dragons, but none of this happens before Ariel comes across an artifact from an earlier civilization, a sentient, record-keeping artificial intelligence that carries with it this perspective of the whole of human history and becomes both Ariel's greatest ally and the narrator of our story. Yeah, that cover could be a poster. That's a very, very nice cover. The Stars Too Fondly by Emily Hamilton. So here's the thing. Cleo and her friends really truly didn't mean to steal this spaceship. They just wanted to know why, 20 years ago, the entire Providence crew vanished without a trace. But then the stupid dark matter engine started all on its own, and now these 420 somethings are en route to Proxima Centauri, unable to turn around and being harangued by a snarky hologram that has the face and attitude of the ship's missing Captain Billy. Cleo has dreamt of being an astronaut all her life, and Earth is kind of a lost cause at this point. So this should be one of those blessings in disguise people talk about. But as the ship gets closer, deeper into space, the laws of physics start twisting, old mysteries start crawling back to life, and Cleo's initially combative relationship with Billy turns into something deeper and more desperate than either woman is prepared for. Next up, Alliance by Dwayne Worrell, second in the Androne series. As an orphan girl, Harmony survived a strange war waged by an enemy called the Quandam. They crushed every technological advancement in the world, eviscerated the landscape, and killed millions. It can be stopped. It can still be stopped. As prophesied, Harmony has a destiny to fulfill. 30 years later, she is in a tenuous alliance with a cult of zealots who worship time itself. A master codebreaker, she's enlisted to obliterate the power of the quantum and prevent a war that has already ended. The mission is a success, and with it, Harmony's new moniker of Peacemaker is enshrined. But as Harmony is warned, there's something else out there. She's finding out what it is, alongside a close knit group of allies and one fearless sergeant who rescued her so many years ago. The war with the past may be over, but as the Church of Time reveals its biggest mystery, the war with the future has just begun. And next, Immortal Ascending, fourth in the Immortal Prophecy series by J.G. Sauer. Dorian Winthrop has been the designated chosen one by ancient prophecy for over 3 centuries, but she's never been comfortable with her calling as an immortal savior. Now, just when she's struggling with her fate more than ever before, she and her team are again tasked with protecting the world from peril. They must find the key to avert a threat that could change the world in inconceivable ways and upend history. With the assignment coming from an astonishing source, Dory must find a way to be the shield for the world that she was meant to be and finally make peace with her destiny. With a few more years as an immortal under his belt, unlike Dory, Caden Crenshaw has embraced his role as chosen warrior. By Dory's side, he's done things he could never have imagined, seen things that even now he can't explain. Just when he thinks he's got a handle on this new immortal life, he's been shown something new challenges his very core beliefs. This latest mission is no exception, to say the least. However, for him, it's about trust and faith, and he will not falter. He'll support the love of his life and lead the team to the mission's conclusion because failure is not an option. Running Close to the Wind by Alexandra Rowland. Avra Helvachi, former field agent of the Irasti Ministry of Intelligence, has accidentally stolen the single most expensive secret in the world, and the only place to flee with a secret that big is the open sea. To find a buyer with deep enough pockets, Avra must ask for help from his on again, off again ex, the pirate captain Tiveri as Hafar. They are far from happy to see him, but together they hatch a plan. Take the information to the isolated pirate republic of the Isles of Lost Souls, fence it, profit. The only things in their way, a calculated new Arasti ambassador to the Isles of Lost Souls who's got his eyes on Avra's every move. Brother Julian, a beautiful, mysterious new member of the crew with secrets of his own and a frankly inconvenient vow of celibacy. The fact that they're sailing straight into sea serpent breeding season is almost certain doom. But if they can find a way to survive and sell the secret on the black market, they'll all be as wealthy as kings. And more important, they'll be legends. They'll be famous. Hang on, coffee's required. Now, this one I could not find if these were previously published stories. So I'm going to go with the assumption they are not. The Big Time series, Volume 2 by Jennifer Estep, includes 3 books, Jinx, Nightingale, and Pandemic. In the first one, Volume 2, so these are books number 3, 4, and 5. Thanks to her unwanted superpower, fashion designer Bella Bellucci may be the luckiest woman in Big Time, but luck can be good or bad, and it seems like just as many embarrassing things happen to Bella as do positive ones. But Bella is going to need every bit of her good luck when she becomes the target of 2 uber villains intent on stealing a prize sapphire. Nightingale, anxious brides, drunken businessmen, panicked partygoers. As Big Time's premier event planner, Abby Appleby is capable of handling almost any crisis, but even she's not prepared when she finds herself in the middle of a fight between superhero Talon and his uber villain nemesis Bandit. And Pandemic. Piper Perez's friends jokingly call her a fandemic, someone who is a superfan of all things superhero. The nickname is truer than anyone knows, especially since Piper can't stop thinking about Swift, the speedy hero who broke her heart. But when Swift becomes a target of a ruthless killer, Piper will have to use all her pandemic knowledge to save the man she loves. That sounds like fun. The Branded by Joe Riccioni. First in a fantasy series. In a world split in two, sisters Nara and Osha must have the power to bring it back together if they can uncover the hidden truth. Isfalk is divided into two classes, the branded, who are vulnerable to disease, and the pure, who are bigger, stronger, and immune. Orphan twins Nara and Osha are sequestered in the Citadel, where their unbranded skin entitles them to a life of privilege, but as precious breeding stock. That sentence makes no sense. Nara itches to escape her confines and return to the wilds of the Thornwood, where she and her sister grew up. But when she is forced to run, she discovers there's much more at stake than her own life. The branded are on the rise, and the girls are caught up in prophecies that foretell of a savior who can realign the world. Forced to accept the help of a mysterious southern brand known only as the Wrangler, Nara discovers the latent power lying dormant in her uncanny abilities that she's had since childhood. But in a world where women are traded as commodities, who can she trust in the lands beyond the Thornwood? And why does the Wrangler seem to know more about her life than she does? Two sisters without a past hold the weight of the future in their hands. That is a pretty cover. The Fall of Waterstone by Lilith St. Crow. Second in the Blacklands Bane series. Solveig and her shield maid have finally reached the fabled Elder Sanctuary of Waterstone, a city of healing, restful beauty hidden from the enemy's gaze. Yet whispers race through the palace halls, and those they have come to tentatively trust have hidden intentions. For not only is the city a refuge for an elementalist, her protector, and a mortal prince, it also holds a great weapon, one that only Solveig's kind may yield. Yet Sol's faith in her own magic is perilously fractured. She can rely only on her wits and skills of negotiation to be heard, or she will become a pawn in a dark game played by elder and enemy alike. The Lord of the Blackland is mighty. Treachery slithers amid Waterstone's many wonders, and time is growing short. Before the darkness finds a way in, Sol must decide who to trust, where to turn for aid, and if she will take up a power she cannot hope to control. Even the right choice may doom not just the home she has left behind, but the entire world. Dot, 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 dot. The Fire Within Them, Soulfire Saga number 2 by Matthew Ward. This looks to be a trilogy. For the first time in a millennium, the kingdom of Kalad is divided. The Battle of Athanok has fanned the spark of Bashar Valen's rebellion to a raging flame. Tizanta, Jewel of the East, has declared for his cause, and other cities have followed. Valent, the people's hero, may soon be powerful enough to challenge Caradan Diar, Khaled's immortal king, but such power demands great personal sacrifice. Afflicted with omen rot after channeling the dead winds to save Athanok from the Koilos army, hey, give me points. I'm saying these words pretty okay. Kat searches for a means to stop the disease killing her as it did her mother. Her journey will uncover secrets long since buried, secrets concerning her past, her family, and the kingdom itself. Eventually, she'll learn that the past never stays buried in Kalad, and that the truth can cut deeper than any blade. I do like that cover too. The Knife and the Serpent by Tim Pratt. After her grandmother is murdered in a home invasion, Tamsin Culver leaves her cushy programming job in San Francisco and returns to her Midwestern hometown to settle the estate. What she doesn't expect is to find out her grandmother's life changing secret. She's not an Earth native, but an exile from another level of the nice space continuum, an adjacent reality with technology far more advanced than ours. What's more, her grandmother ruled there as an oligarch, meaning Tamsin is the heir to vast wealth only accessible by someone from her bloodline. But the enemies who tried to exterminate her family won't be happy to see her return. Back in the Bay Area, grad student Glenn makes a startling discovery about his girlfriend Vivi. She's a secret agent for the Interventionists, an interdimensional organization devoted to protecting the inhabitants of Nice Space from those trying to take advantage of less developed worlds. When she lands in trouble, Glenn finds himself on a sapient starship in a distant level of the continuum, racing to save her. But when Glenn and Vivi's plans clash with Tamsin's, and secret connections among them all are revealed, their situation becomes catastrophically complicated. It's a princess of nice space versus a champion of nice space in a reality spanning adventure that ranges from alien planets to mysterious space stations to Bay Area bars, with starship battles, cyborg augmentation, abductions, snark, betrayal, and fallout, both nuclear and emotional. Got everything but the kitchen sink in there. But it seems actually like a semi original story. Kudos. The Stardust Grail by Yume Kitase. Save one world, doom her own. Maya Hoshimoto was once the best art thief in the galaxy. For 10 years, she returned stolen artifacts to alien civilizations until a disastrous job forced her into hiding. Now she just wants to enjoy a quiet life as a graduate student of anthropology, but she's haunted by persistent and disturbing visions of the future. Then an old friend comes to her with a job she can't refuse: find a powerful object that could save an alien species from extinction. Except no one has seen it in living memory, and they aren't the only ones hunting for it. Maya sets out on a breakneck quest through a universe teeming with strange life and ancient ruins. But the farther she goes, the more her visions cast a dark shadow over her team of friends, new and old. Someone will betray her along the way. Worse yet, in choosing to save one species, she may condemn humanity and Earth itself. Which these days there are a lot of people who think that would be the preferred, and they are wrong. Unleashing Chaos by Crystal J. Johnson and Felicity Vaughn. Desideria is looking for true love. When your father, the king of demons, tells you to find an eternal partner in 90 days, you do it because the alternative is worse. Jace's heart is shattered and guarded. All I asked for was a quiet roommate to help with the bills. Instead, I got a sassy demon princess, as one does. Canon wants everyone to be happy, but sure, I want to help my friends, but I've got ambitions too. Infernus, help them. A visit to the human realm is Desi's last-ditch effort to find the partner of her dreams. She wants to marry for love, but with only 3 months to fall head over heels and take someone home to her chaotic family in Infernus, it seems impossible. When every date Desi goes on ends in disaster, she enlists the help of her two handsome roommates. While one is friendly and fun, willing to help in any way he can, the other is stern and impenetrable, resolute in his theory that everlasting love isn't possible. But as much as she'd like to deny it, Desideria is an agent of chaos as she quickly starts knocking down walls and crossing boundaries in every aspect of her romantic life. Maybe it was kismet that landed Desi in Denver, but the choice she and her new friends have to make will define not only their futures, but that of an entire realm. I foresee a threesome. Just saying. Now, this one I wasn't sure. Marie Lu does write fantasy sci-fi. In Goodreads, this has a keyword of fantasy. It just doesn't describe very much as fantasy, but I'm going to include it. Icon and Inferno, second in a Stars and Smoke series. New sparks, old flames, and a mission that's playing with fire. A year has passed since superstar Winter Young last saw secret agent Sydney Cossett. After barely surviving their first assignment together in London and their intense chemistry, the two haven't spoken at all, though they're never far from the other's thoughts or fantasies. So when Sydney shows up at Winter's studio one day with a new mission from Panacea, he has no choice but to accept. With the clock ticking, the duo prepares to head to Singapore to rescue an operative in danger, only to learn he's none other than Sydney's ex, a rogue agent known as the Arsonist. Of course, nothing is ever simple when it comes to Winter and Sydney, especially not with the glamorous Gabby Ginsburg, a globe-trotting socialite and Winter's one-time girlfriend in the mix. Is she back for Winter's heart, or does she have her eye on another prize? Good questions. That is all we have for today. And I think the alarm is about to go. So very good timing. Again, we do have sprints tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. Pop in if you can. Otherwise, we do sprints again on Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. So every Tuesday and Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons. Tomorrow we'll be looking at historical mysteries for the Midsummer Hiss Mist Readathon. And we'll be back again next week for new releases being released next week. I hope you have a very good day. Read good books. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.